This is the best way to get the audience on your side, I think. Okay, I'll start then. So this is going to be the most important 5 minutes and 24 seconds you will ever have in the mood, because in that time I will let you in on the secret of what it takes to be the perfect leader. There's no way you'll ever find 5 minutes where you get something more effective afterwards, okay? 5 minutes from now you will know how to be the perfect leader. And I'm going to do this by giving you some examples of great leadership. I'm the CEO of Teach First, which is an education charity. And what we do is we try to work towards a day where all children's educational success is possible. And we think one of the biggest civil rights issue of our time is that many children don't have that opportunity in their education. We think that change can happen through leadership, classroom leadership, school leadership, and societal leadership. And it's all about the leadership to make that change possible. So let me introduce you to some of the great leaders I've met over the years, or who I really look up to. Two of them who you're first going to see I met in India just a few months ago, Razim and Ada, and they're going to come up in a second. These are two of the leaders who help lead our sister program, Teach for India. They live in a slum community, and they actually lead the training of teachers in those communities. They were very nervous training me and some of the Teach for India teachers, and I think what I learned from them, the leadership skill of self-leadership, because every adult listened to them because they led themselves. Similar to Mohammed here, who goes to a school in West London. He's someone I met who believes in himself. There's something very important about leadership, believing in yourself, no matter what community you grew up in. Now, he's only able to believe in himself because there's people who are leading him also. And those leaders, who are going to come up in a second, are the teachers in his school. And what those leaders, I think, have in common, this is a great school in West London that I visited, is they do all the little things right. And there's something very special about doing all the little things right all the time. Because leadership is about doing lots and lots of little things right every day, every hour, and every minute. And that's really hard. They have a great head teacher, this guy Max, too, who's managed to get great results in the school. Even though 2/3 of the kids on free school meals, the results are better than some of the top private schools. And that's because he has very high expectations for his school. I think one great leadership skill is high expectations, which he has. Now, he can only have those high expectations because there's a policy environment. So I put two politicians up here, one Labour, one Tory. You could agree or disagree with some of the things they might have done. But one thing I think they have in common is they created an enabling framework of leadership in the education sphere. And that enabling framework is important for leaders. In Judaism, we have our own enabling framework, of course, which is the leader of Moses. And one of the things that I love about Moses is how he delegates so well in the Tanakh. And all the great leaders that I've seen are delegators. No leader can do everything themselves. The best leaders delegate to lots of people, whether it's Aaron or Joshua or anyone else in your organization. But of course, he also had God who is on his side. And God's a great leader in the words of Avinu Malkeinu, our father, our king, right? So a king rules in boundaries, a father loving leadership. Two important parts of leadership. Now what you learn, this is going to be funny, what you learn as an adult, a father or a mother, is you think you're going to lead your children, but of course they lead you. Very recently, I've discovered, having children, that your children are much better leaders than you think they're going to be, and they really want to be leaders. She's led me out of nursery this morning. Very strong-willed, and you discover that's two-way leadership. Being a parent is two-way leadership, not one-way leadership, and that's great leadership. And that's similar to my great-grandmother, my booby on the left there. She was a stiff-necked leader. That's a Jewish leadership trait. She led the family out of Poland in the 1920s, even though the rest of the family didn't want to go. That's a really important leadership trait. We wouldn't be here now if she hadn't had that premonition and pulled people out to a country where she knew nothing about. One of the things she had, similar to Herzl, is she had a vision. And I think great leaders have vision. He had a vision about what was possible. He said, if you will it, it's not a dream. All great leaders I've ever met have some sort of vision that they're working towards and believe if you can will it, even if it's not in existence today, you can make it a reality. You also need someone like Ben Gurion, though, to make that vision a reality, to knock heads together. He wasn't an easy leader. He made some difficult decisions. The Altalena, he created a unified Israeli command. He made some very difficult decisions. But you could say banging heads together like that is an important thing leaders sometimes have to do to make your dream a reality. One thing he never had, people said, was grace. Aung San Suu Kyi, on the other hand, was a very graceful leader. She forgave her enemies in Burma, like a Mandela or a Martin Luther King or a Dalai Lama. There's that grace in leadership, which I think very powerful leaders have. They can forgive their enemies and get that moral leadership up there. So what is the perfect leader? Well, we've met the perfect leader. The perfect leader is like the perfect predator. The perfect leader has persistence, has belief, does the small things right, high expectations, enabling framework, delegation, is a king, is a father, strong-willed, stiff-necked, has a vision, has toughness, and grace and moral leadership. Like the perfect predator, it's impossible. It looks like this. The perfect leader, like the perfect leader and a perfect predator, would fall apart immediately. It wouldn't be able to catch anything, wouldn't be able to lead anything. It's an impossibility, it's an absurdity, it's not going to happen. So what does that mean if you're looking for a perfect leader? Like the perfect predator, you have to find what you're good at, right? Whether you're good at running, whether you're good at having a strong hide, whatever you're good at, because you can be the perfect leader. You just have to find that one leadership attribute that's distinctively you, and then cultivate that. Thank you.